Before we dive into today's video, I want to give you guys a quick update on the next live stream. Now, in our previous live stream, the one that happened in September, we told you we were going to do a live stream every single month moving forward until the end of time. But guys, life gets in the way sometimes, and October has turned out to be a super busy month for us. And the next time that we're going to be able to come back and do the live stream will be in November, most likely the second or third weekend. But we will be back. Comics and beer is not going away. It's just going to be sporadic sometimes. So that's the update on the live stream. But guys, make sure you guys are sticking around to the end of today's video to find out if you guys won last week's giveaway, but also how to win this week's giveaway. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for New Comic Book Day. And guys, this week's New Comic Book Day is a little special. It is, because it's my freaking birthday. What better day for a New Comic Book Day to land on than my birthday? I don't think there is one. But guys, if you have never seen the Wednesday pull list before, let me go ahead and give you a brief synopsis about what's about to happen on today's video. First off, I read all the previous issues to the books that are on my pull list, so that way I am up to date on all the stories and I can tell you guys which are the best stories to be picking up this week. Next up, I go over the chopping block. These are the books that I might be chopping for my pull list because they're no longer any good. And then I go over my cover lover picks, and then any new number ones that I think you guys just have to be excited about, the almost top 3, and then we finish this video with the top 3 books that I think you guys just have to be reading because the story is so freaking amazing. Alright guys, that is it. Birthday books this week, so let's go ahead and check out my pull list. Alright guys, as you guys can see, my list has grown a little bit from last week, which I'm not too thrilled with because I had to read so many books this week. But you guys can't see what's on that screen right here, so let me go ahead and throw it up on screen right now. Guys, there are 18 total books on my pull list. There is one new number one. That's it. That means I had to read 17 books this weekend to get caught up on all the stories. And guys, guess what? I did. I read every single issue that I had to. So every single book that you see here on screen right now could make the top 3 list. Just keep that in mind as we move forward. But guys, let's break down this list a little more. There are 6 DC books, 6 Marvel books, and do you guys know what that means? There are 6 independent books that are on my pull list. It's an equal list throughout all the books, 6 DC, 6 Marvel, and 6 indie. I don't think that's ever happened. Normally I weigh heavily into indie and DC, but guys, it's even this week. But guys, that is my pull list. There are no books on the chopping block this week because all the books that I read this weekend were really good. So let's go ahead and move over to my favorite section. Well, I shouldn't say my favorite, but one of my favorite sections, my cover lover picks. This was a really good week for cover lover picks because there are 9 total covers that I'm really liking. I cannot wait to share each and every single one with you guys. So let's go ahead and dive into these covers. And the first one up is Superman issue number 7. Now this is the cover G, which is the icon foil variant done by Jim Lee. Now this is a reprint from Superman issue number 204 back from 2004, but I absolutely love this cover. It's one of my favorite Jim Lee covers of all time. Superman just looks so epic in this pose, and I love it. And I'm obviously getting this because it's also a foil, and foils are just the thing right now. But guys, the next cover is for Catwoman issue number 58. Now this is the cover D. It is the artist spotlight cover done by Gabriel Del Otto. It's a Del Otto. It's Catwoman. It's gorgeous. But guys, after that, this was a book that was on my final order cutoff video, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 144. This is the 1:10 ratio variant done by Joe Quinones. It's awesome. I really freaking like it. But moving on, next up is Grimm issue number 14. This is the cover D. It is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Franny. I don't know what it is about this cover. I think it's the eyes, but I love it. I'm really into this. I might try to score myself a copy of this cover because I just really like it. But guys, this next one is also really good. This is for the Sensational She-Hulk issue number 1. This is the foil variant done by Adam Hughes. Let me say that again. Adam Hughes doing a foil for a Sensational She-Hulk. It's really good. It's not his best, but it's really good. And the next cover up is for Green Lantern War Journal issue number 2. Now this is the cover D. This is also the artist spotlight variant done by Del Otto. come on. This is really good. I didn't see this in my first pass through all the covers, but when I was putting this list together, Green Lantern made one of the other sections in this video. I'm not going to tell you which one just yet. You guys just strap in. It will come up. Don't worry. But guys, this cover is so gorgeous. I really, really like it. Now, next up is probably one of my favorite covers of the week, if not my favorite. This is Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder, issue number 4. This is the cover B variant done by Chris Bachalo. It is so good. I love this cover. This might be some of my favorite art by him, period. It is so good. What do you guys think of this cover? I would love to know down in the comments below. But guys, we got 2 more covers to talk about. Next up is Vampirella versus Superpowers, issue number 5. This is the cover M, which is the 1:20 ratio Virgin variant done by Francisco Tomaselli. It is so good. So good. I really like this cover. Do you guys like this cover? Again, let me know down in the comments below. Or am I just becoming a Vampirella fan? Because it's one of the two. Either this is a really good cover or I'm just becoming a Vampy fan. But guys, the final cover that I really like is Superman issue number 7. Now this is the cover C variant done by David Finch. How good is this cover? This cover is so good. Superman looks epic in this pose. It is so good. And it's almost better than the Jim Lee variant, but I'm not going to say so because I love that Jim Lee variant. It's also got a little nostalgia for me. But guys, those are the 9 covers that I really, really like, and those are my cover lover picks. So let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is my new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be excited about. Before we dive into that new number 1, I just want to ask you guys, if you guys have not hit that like button just yet, do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps us here on this channel get this video out to more people in front of more eyes, and I just want more people to be excited to get down to their local LCS and pick up some new comics. So guys, do me a favor and smash that like button, and let's go ahead and check out this new number 1 that you guys just have to be excited about. With there only being one new number 1 title on my pull list, it was really easy to decide what book was going to be my new number 1 that you guys just have to be excited about. And that is The Sensational She-Hulk issue number 1. Now this series is going to be written by Rainbow Rowell and art by Andreas Ginolat? I want to say that's how it's pronounced, but I'm probably totally butchering it. You guys can tell me down in the comments below. But guys, I'm so excited that Rainbow Rowell is coming back to continue her run on She-Hulk because I absolutely loved the previous run. It did sizzle towards the end, but man, I read the final issue of that run yesterday and it ended with a bang. It was so good. So I'm really pumped and I'm really excited to continue this series from Rainbow Rowell. And guys, if you did not read that run, go read it. Jack of Hearts, She-Hulk, together, making this really interesting relationship happen was so good. But let me go read the synopsis and then we'll talk about the covers that are coming out for this book because there's a total of 18 variants for this title. So let's go ahead and read the synopsis. The Sensational She-Hulk is back. Jennifer Walters is dusting off her adjective and kicking off a new era. The best hero / lawyer in the Marvel Universe is going to remind you why she's so sensational, going up against her deadliest challenge yet. Plus, Marvel Studios She-Hulk series writer Jessica Jowell makes her Marvel debut in a short story with the Jade Giant. Now, that is the synopsis. It doesn't really tell us a lot what's going to happen, but I know they're going to continue the relationship of Jack of Hearts and Jennifer Walters, which I'm so excited to see because it was done so well in the previous run. But guys, let's go ahead and talk about some of these variants. Like I said, there are a total of 18 if you include all the exclusive covers, but I'm not going to show you those to you guys. You guys can go to LeagueOfComicGeeks.com and check those out yourself. But guys, I know I've already shown some of the covers that are coming out for this title, but I want to focus on the ones that I really like. The ones that I like are obviously going to be the Adam Hughes foil variant. I also like the Lucas Warneck Stormbreakers variant, which are the zombie covers that are coming out over the last couple months. These are really good, and Lucas Warneck is such an awesome artist. And the last cover that I really like is the Scotty Young variant. So I like cover A, Adam Hughes, Warneck, and the Scotty Young. Alright guys, that is the new number 1 that I'm just really excited about. Let's go ahead and find out what books made the almost top 3. I read 17 books this past weekend. That's right, 17. And not a single one made the chopping block, so that means all those stories were pretty good. But 6 made the almost top 3. These are the stories that were so freaking good, but they just didn't have that little extra to make the top 3 list. So let's go ahead and find out what these books are. First up is Avengers Inc. issue number 2. I read issue number 1 yesterday, and it was really good. It was a very interesting murder mystery that was happening in the Marvel Universe, and what else I really liked was that it involved Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp, which I really don't know anything about, and also this other character, Victor Shade, which I know nothing about, and that added some extra intrigue to this book, which I really liked. The writing by Al Ewing was also fantastic, and guys, there's some great variants for this issue. There's the cover A, which is fantastic, the Aka, and also the Ben Harvey Wasp cover, which there's also a 1 in 50 Virgin variant of that as well, which is really cool. But guys, after that is Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker, issue number 6, and this is coming from writers Katana Collins and Clayton McCormack, and is art by Mariko Andolfo. Now, I will say the writing on this series has been a little weak compared to the main series of Batman the White Knight. There's 3 volumes of it written by Sean Gordon Murphy, which is some of the best writing and best storytelling, in my opinion, to come out over the last few years. It is so good. But this story is continuing within that universe, and it's so good. And the cliffhanger at the end of issue 5 made it make the almost top 3, because it was such an amazing cliffhanger. It was so good. Now, there are 2 variant covers for this book. The cover C, which is the 125 by Rose Besh, is really cool. What do you guys think about that cover? Do you guys like it or not like it? Let's move on. Next up is The Incredible Hulk, issue number 5. Now, this is coming from writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and has art by Travel Foreman. Now, this book probably would have made the top 3 list, but the art change from Nick Klein to Travel Foreman totally threw me for a loop. I don't personally like Travel Foreman as an artist. I found that out after reading issue number 4. And guys, it wasn't good in my opinion and took away from the story. But what I do really like about Philip Kennedy Johnson and The Incredible Hulk is that it is a true monster book. It's not like a hero book, it's monsters, and it is so freaking cool. I know they made this book into a horror book with Al Ewing in the previous run. I forgot what it was called, but what I'm reading right here is so good. You guys have to be reading this book. It's so good. And hopefully Nick Klein is going to come back in a few issues, because Travel Foreman is not for me. But guys, moving on. Next up is In Hell We Fight, issue number 5. Now, this is coming from writer John Layman and art by Jock. This is a super fun book where we follow 3 souls trapped in hell, and they each have very interesting tales of how they got down in the hell, and then just throw in a kidnapped angel and you have one hell of a tale. It is so good. I don't need to tell you guys more. Read this book. It's awesome. And guys, next up is Green Lantern War Journal issue number 2. I told you this book was going to be in this video. And guys, this is coming from, again, writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and art by Montos. Now, this series kicked off with a bang. I loved how they introduced the villain right from the get-go, and they introduce you to these characters that you think are going to be important, and they're not, because the villain just comes in and destroys them. It is so good. And I also loved, and in this issue, there was a Green Lantern that came down to Earth, because there's a whole new Green Lantern Corps out in the universe, and he came down to arrest John Stewart, and John Stewart kicked his ass. It was so good. Sent him running back to this new Green Lantern Corps. It was so good. Check out this book. The art is good. The story is amazing because it's by PKJ. It is so good. But guys, there's one other book on this almost top 3, and it is The Forged, issue number 5. I read issue number 4 today, actually, before I recorded this video. Now, this is coming from writer Greg Rucka and Eric Trotman and art by Mark Henderson. This is so good. Now, this book most likely would have made the top 3 list, but there's a Marvel book that edged it out. But guys, this is like an epic space opera. I might be using that word incorrectly, but it's awesome. This book is so good. There's mechs, there's aliens, there's action, there's like sex. It is just so good. Issue number 4, there wasn't the big space or craziness or mechs or anything. They were on this planet. There was a lot of mystery and political things happening in the story, and it was so good. I really felt like I watched a really cool episode of an HBO show after reading that issue. It was so good. All right, guys. Those were the 6 books on the almost top 3. Let's go ahead and dive into my top 3 books that I think you guys have to be picking up because the stories are the best this week. The book that's in the number 3 spot is Superman issue number 7. After I read issue number 6, this book just had to make the top 3 list because it was so good. Now, this is coming from writer Joshua Williamson and has art by Gleb McGlinkoff. I'm totally butchering that. I understand that. But Gleb, your artwork is fantastic. But guys, issue number 7 is going to be an oversized anniversary issue celebrating the Man of Steel and his legacy. So it's going to be huge. There's probably going to be multiple stories in it, but the story by Joshua Williamson is the one that you're going to want to read. Because guys, this book is so much fun. If you're like me, you probably weren't a Superman fan before you start reading this. And if you haven't read it and you're not a Superman fan, check out this series, because I seriously was not a Superman fan until I started reading this. This story by Josh Williamson is so amazing. And here are just a couple highlights that are drawing me into this story, into this character. Number one, Lex Luthor is in jail, which is not new. But what is new is that he's fully committed himself to helping Superman, or so we think. He's given LexCorp over to Superman. It's now called SuperCorp, and everyone is trying to help Superman do the right thing, and everything seems to be, you know, quote unquote, going his way. And it doesn't seem like they're actually doing anything evil yet. But in issue number 6, we did find out that Lex Luthor had captured someone and like put him in like this cell buried deep underneath the ground, and Superman went and freed him. And oh boy, that did not go the way Superman had expected it. But guys, that's not it. There are two villains that are like pulling these strings behind the scene, and they are basically making Superman, which is like, you know, a god, making him look like a toy, like a plaything, and it is epic. It is awesome. I am really enjoying this story, and I highly suggest you guys check this book out. Now, there are some amazing variants coming out for this issue. There's the Lee Bermejo, there's the David Nakayama, there's the David Finch, which I already showed you, the Jim Lee that I already showed you, there's a Greg Capullo, which I really don't like. The Frank Cho is okay, but it's of a statue. Who wants a cover of a Superman statue? I don't know, but Frank Cho is still an amazing artist. But guys, so many good covers, such a great book. Be reading this book. That's my number 3. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 2 is. Alright guys, my number 2 book is a Marvel book. So we had a DC and now we're having a Marvel. Is number 1 going to be an indie? We'll stick around and find out. But my number 2 book is Daredevil issue number 2. Now this is coming from writer Saladin Ahmed and has art by Aaron Kuder. Now, this book was so good. It was so good. It was so good to see that the Daredevil is going to have a competent and really good team coming out of the Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto run, because that run was really, really good. It kind of did fizzle at the end, but the beginning was epic. And issue number 1 that I read yesterday is continuing the epicness. It was so good. Now, what I really liked about this book, other than the amazing artwork by Aaron Kuder is becoming one of my favorite artists. He's like up here somewhere. I mean, there's other guys above him, but man, he's creeping to the top. He's so good. The artwork was fantastic, but the resetting of Daredevil in Matt Murdock is turning out so well. Because if you didn't read the previous run, at the end of the previous run, I'm going to go ahead and spoil something for you. He died on purpose and went to hell to fight some demons and the devil and to make sure that he could protect the people that he loved. But at the end of the run, he came back to life. That's right, he's back to life, but he lost all of his memories. Now he's just a priest doing his priesthood thing. But, you know, he has these little tickles of, like, old memories, and he, like, you know, he's still Daredevil, so he can still, like, do things, but he doesn't understand how he can do those things. And he's actually working for this church that fosters kids, and there was a really cool moment between the kids and Daredevil because they just idolize him because he's so cool. He's Matt Murdock. He's, like, basically one of the coolest people in the MCU, and it was just so cool to see these kids just just love this guy, and it was awesome. It was so great. It was such a great moment. But then at the end of issue number 1, he remembers who he is again. He does. So he's back to being Daredevil, but he feels weird putting on the suit. It's like he feels right, but he feels like, you know, he's sinning again, and he doesn't want to do that. So I'm really interested to see where this run is going to go, and hopefully Aaron Kuder stays on it for a while, because Saladin Ahmed and Aaron Kuder make one hell of a team. It's fantastic. If you guys haven't checked out this book, definitely check it out. Now, there are some amazing covers for this. There's the David Marquez, which is really good. There is a Stormbreaker variant, which is the zombie one. The 1-in-25 ratio by Torrin Clark is really good, and there is a 1-in-100 John Romita Jr. Virgin variant of the cover A, but I'm not a big JR fan. So if you guys like that cover, that's good for you, but that's not for me. I would probably go after that 1-in-25 Torrin Clark if I was going to go after a book, but I'm just getting cover A. But guys, that is my number 2 book. Fantastic start for the new Daredevil creative team. I cannot wait to read issue number 2. But guys, let's go ahead and find out what my number 1 book of this week, which is October 18th of 2023, my 43rd birthday. All right, guys, let's find out what this book is. All right, guys, the number 1 book that I'm most excited to read this week, I'm sure most of you know. If you've watched this channel long enough, you know what's going to be in the number 1 spot because I'm so excited for every issue of this book. All right, guys, here it is. Big Game issue number 4. Now this is coming from writer Mark Miller and art by Pepe Larraz. The art is so good. In every single issue, it's just like page after page of gorgeous artwork. I'll try to find some preview images to issue number 4. If not, I'll throw up preview images from issue number 1 because I know those are online somewhere. But this book is epic. I read issue number 3 for the second or third time yesterday, and it's still so good. Now, I went ahead and wrote a brief synopsis of my thoughts because I wanted to get it down on paper to make sure I didn't forget anything, but I also didn't want to give you guys too much information because you guys just go, you have to go out and read this book. It is so good. So I'm going to read this right now. If you have read and enjoyed any of Mark Millar's books in the past, then you just have to read this book. It is filled with action, suspense, heart-wrenching deaths, and just enough mystery to keep you glued to your seat and in anticipation of what's coming next. Now guys, I love the pacing of this book. We're going at a blistering pace. Heroes are dying left and right. The villains are winning, and we're just not slowing down. This story is so good. I do have a feeling issue number 4 is gonna slow down a little bit, and then it's gonna pick right up for the finale. Guys, I cannot wait to get my hands on the final issue. Now, normally I try not to swear in this video, but guys, hell, this story is amazing. I love this book. And guys, the art by Pepe Larraz is incredible. Be reading this book. It's so good. If you haven't, go pick up the issues. It's well worth it. Or maybe wait for it to come out and trade and then pick it all up and read it because it is so good. That is my number 1 book coming out this week, October 18th of 2023. All right, guys, we did the whole video, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up and find out who won last week's giveaway. All right, guys, we are at the end of the video, and if you guys are still watching right now, thank you. And I just want to let you guys know, you guys are legends. You guys are the true legends, and thank you guys so much. Now, guys, look down. Have you guys hit that like button just yet? If you haven't, do me a favor and smash that like button. Now, if you watched that video and you guys enjoy comic book content and you're not subscribed, well, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, that's all I gotta say. Let's go ahead and find out who won last week's giveaway. So let's cut up close and do that right now. All right, guys, this is last week's video, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch the comments. Not anything goes. You guys know how we do this. Keyword filter, hashtag I love comic books. We're gonna fetch. Let's see how many people left comments. 48 people left comments. That means there's 48 entries into this week's giveaway. Let's find out who won. And 3, 2, 1, let's do it! CM! That's simple. CM, congratulations! Congratulations, CM. Now, what I need you to do is go over to Instagram and slide into our DMs and give us your address. I will order you 3 books. I'll have them sent to your house, and you will get 3 amazing comic books, most likely some amazing cover liver picks from the last few weeks, and hopefully you will enjoy them. Editor Bruce here, guys. I totally forgot to tell you how to enter this week's giveaway when I was recording this video earlier, but it's the same rules as always. Number 1, you guys need to live in the United States of America. Number 2, you guys need to be subscribed to the channel. Number 3, you need to leave a comment. And number 4, you need to use the hashtag I love comic books in your comment. And that's it. Alright guys, back to the video. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. I'll be back on Wednesday with my previews, highlights video for the month of November, I want to say it is. I can't even remember off the top of my head right now, but those will be previewing books that are coming out in the month of January, which is absolutely insane that we're already thinking about books in 2024, but we're gonna, and then on Friday I'll have my final order cut off, speculation and recommendations video for you guys. Alright guys, have yourself a great rest of the week and a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.